Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're tuning into this right now, I'm guessing there's a pretty good chance you're walking around with this heavy, invisible weight on your shoulders. You know the feeling, right? That immense, overwhelming pressure to have the next 50 years of your life completely mapped out, like right this very second. It creates this gnawing anxiety about the future that just refuses to let up. You might be grinding away, putting in the hours, getting the grades, checking off all those societal boxes for success, and yet you still feel incredibly empty inside. Trust me, I hear you, and I completely understand that pressure. So today, we're going to unpack exactly why that's happening, and much more importantly, how we can actually fix it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Why do we feel so completely lost when we're trying so incredibly hard? It's a massive, frustrating paradox, isn't it? You might be sitting there telling yourself that you just lack discipline, or that you aren't grinding hard enough, or that there's just something inherently broken with your work ethic. But I want to stop you right there. Feeling empty after achieving things is absolutely not a lack of discipline. It's actually a glaring red flag that you might be pouring all your incredible energy into chasing the entirely wrong things. It's like you're sprinting in a marathon, but you're literally on the wrong track.
Section 1, Targets versus Real Purpose. We really need to shift the narrative here. Stop asking, what am I doing wrong, and start recognizing the massive fundamental difference between a hollow target and an actual sustaining purpose. This alignment, or the lack of it, is the absolute root of that anxiety you're carrying around. Understanding this difference is your key to getting unstuck. So look at the stark contrast here on the screen. On the left side, we've got our targets: money, perfect grades, optimizing your looks, or chasing social status. You noticing a trend here? They're entirely external. And the incredibly dangerous trap with external targets is that there's never, ever enough. You hit a target, your dopamine spikes for a hot minute, and then boom, the emptiness creeps right back in because the target just moved again. Now shift over to the right side. Real purpose. This is rooted in responsibility and contribution. It's not about what you can grab or acquire, it's about what you give and what you take ownership of. It's an active, internal practice. Unlike those external targets that are constantly shifting on you, real purpose, that provides deep, long-lasting stability. So, the crucial point is how we actually define this word in the first place. Purpose is not a 50-year plan etched in stone. Let's just break that myth wide open right now. I mean, so many of us think we have to have our ultimate life's destination perfectly mapped out by the time we're, 16, 18 years old? Come on, that is an impossible, crushing standard. Purpose isn't a final destination you just magically arrive at one day. It's something you continually grow into by taking on responsibility and stacking up small wins. It's an ongoing, daily process of discovery. It's definitely not a map you're handed out graduation.
I really want you to let this thought sink in for a second. You're not behind. You're just misaligned. If you take absolutely nothing else away from this explainer, please let it be this. As someone who genuinely wants to see you thrive, I'm telling you, your anxiety, that awful feeling of being totally lost and way behind your peers, it is just a symptom of misalignment. It is absolutely not a failure. You haven't ruined your life. In fact, you're exactly where you need to be to recognize this misalignment and make a simple course correction.
Moving into Section 2, Turning Anxiety into a Superpower. I want to challenge you to completely change how you view your negative emotions. That paralyzing fear of the future you wake up with, we've got to stop viewing it as the enemy. It's actually a highly tuned signal, and if we learn to use it right, it can become your absolute greatest tool for personal growth. Seriously, don't panic. Wherever you are right now, just take a deep breath in and breathe out. I am giving you permission in this exact moment to drop that immense, crushing pressure you're carrying around. You do not need to have it all figured out today. The world isn't going to end just because you're still trying to find your footing. Let the tension break. Give yourself the grace to just be in the process. And this brilliantly illustrates how we process pressure. Look at unmanaged pressure on the left. That causes a complete disaster. It leaves you paralyzed and stuck, totally overwhelmed by all these floating worries about your future or your grades. But the right kind of pressure, well, that's exactly what creates diamonds. Instead of running away from feeling stuck or instantly trying to numb out and get rid of those anxious feelings, I want you to lean into them. Use them. Let that pressure become the raw, undeniable energy you use to actively seek out your true why. This pressure isn't here to break you. It's here to form you. All right, Section 3, Building Purpose Through Small Wins. Now we're going to pivot entirely away from that overwhelming, honestly terrifying big picture of the next 50 years. We need to bring your focus all the way down to the ground level, to the immediate, manageable actions that you have complete and total control over right now. Because purpose is not found in one magical, perfectly written sentence that suddenly clarifies your whole existence. It's built. And it's built through small, repeated, intentional choices. First, follow your curiosity. Are you naturally drawn to graphic design, coding, organizing local events? Just do it, especially when there isn't a grade or a paycheck attached. Second, ask yourself this incredibly powerful, grounding question. What is life asking me to take responsibility for right now? Is it stepping up to help a struggling friend? Is it finally finishing that messy project sitting on your desk? And third, you have got to stop worrying about the big picture. Stop trying to perfectly predict a future that doesn't even exist yet, and pour that energy into the immediate responsibilities sitting right in front of you. Let's actually shrink your timeline even further. Forget the next 50 years. Honestly, forget next year. Let's just look at today. Finding your purpose starts with radical consistency in the most basic micro actions. Step 1, get out of bed. Step 2, get to class or get to work. Step 3, simply do the next right thing. It sounds almost too simple, I know, but real purpose is found in the quiet consistency of these tiny choices. If you can master these daily micro actions, just taking responsibility for the little things right in front of you, the macro purpose inevitably takes care of itself. Which brings us to our final thought. I want you to leave this explainer feeling totally empowered, completely relieved of that hollowed pressure of chasing external targets, and ready to take just one single positive step forward. Remember, the anxiety is just energy waiting to be directed. So I'm going to leave you with this one vital question to answer for yourself the absolute second this finishes. What is the next right thing you can do today? Just one thing. Go do that, and I promise you the rest of your true purpose will follow.